Sup my dudes, Valk here, and today they buffed boss event. Not really. What they really did was they fixed a passive thing where like passes were doing double the amount they were supposed to. So boss event became a lot harder for a lot of people. I think the old strategy works is swap out Haka Rin for Pain, as you'll see Pain in this one. So I want to, instead of doing Vegeta and Igris, I wanted to go ahead and use the new units and use the units in the boss event to show you guys that you can beat the boss event with the new units as well. Akaza is very good for boss event because as you go through the boss event, you're going to use Akaza in the secondary passive, or the first passive here. Damage plus 11% with each attack received. That counts for Igris's map-wide stun. So within a single Igris, he's going to have that passive fully maxed out. And then Tengen, as I showed in my last video, is just the best unit in the game, period. So we're going to be using Tengen and Akaza for this one, and Tengen and Akaza are basically going to carry us, and we're going to do that. So this is going to be a new strat. We're going to optimize it a little bit more than before, and we're going to be using Pain as well as Croc to go ahead and buy us a lot of time. So this is just a little bit of a different strat than before, but for the most part it's going to stay relatively the same. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that. Our biggest issue with this strategy specifically is taking care of early mods, because Akaza isn't as good as Vegeta at clearing out early waves because his SPA is so much higher, but because he doesn't have Vegeta's passive, you can use supports to supplement that. That's why we're using like Croc and Pain to go ahead and supplement the fact that he's not going to be as good early on. So we're going to go ahead and just, as always, money first. You got to get your money up before you get your funny up, you know. And we're going to do that. And one thing we're going to do with Akaza very differently is we're going to align Akaza around these corners, because Akaza has this pill AoE towards his final upgrades, and to really utilize that, you want to put him on a line. You want to kind of treat that AoE like a line, and the best way we're going to utilize that is by putting him on corners themselves. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Get him down, and then we're going to... I think here I can put down another one, and then him here. I'll wait and see though, because I want to make sure I get this upgrade here. So yeah, we're just going to wait on the enemies to get all the way back here. This is going to buy us a ton of time. Yeah, there we go. I thought so. So I can do that, and now we're going to do this, and we're just going to chill out for a second here, and then we're going to get this 30-50 and upgrade as much as we can. I think I can place him now though, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're going to do this, and now we just chill out. Once again, bop, bop. And we just want to make sure we keep maxing our money out here. I think if I wait for, yeah, definitely we'll get this next maxed out Speedwagon on the wave rotation. So we're going to do that for sure. And like I said, we're going to try to buy as much time as possible via using all of our supports. Supports are kind of the key to all of this. You can see they're finally making their way over here. Before the wave swaps, I don't know if we'll get enough to actually upgrade him one more time, but we'll find out here in a second. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at. Yeah, we will. Cool. We're going to now go ahead, place down all the Akazas, and it's going to be a massive party back here, because we're going to have all these Akazas down. Then we're going to place a Pain, then we're going to place a Croc, and we're going to let that kind of just marinate right there. And let that cook, because the Akazas are going to be able to hold down early on, and we're going to use Pain, like I said, Pain and Croc to kind of supplement any SPA issues they will have, because unlike Vegeta, you really don't want anybody near him so he can get that minus 20% SPA. With Akaza, he doesn't have that. You just want Akaza to get stunned and be able to rack up damage and be able to build up that passive he has, and once that passive is built up, he'll be really good. So now we're going to go up here. We're going to start placing our Pains to buy us time. Pain's going to be very good in just buying us a ton of time. And then we're going to place Croc here, Croc here, and then a Croc here. And then finally we're going to place a Tengen right here, and we're going to start upgrading him while watching the back, because you could potentially have bleeders, because the Akazas aren't insane off placement, like I said, due to their SPA, which is why you're trying to supplement that with all these supports. You really want to get Tengen to full AoE before you do anything else though. So that's kind of our goal right now, is to just full send this Tengen all the way into full AoE status. And he needs about 1 or 2 more waves to really cook, which he should be able to get before Igris comes over here. So now with Tengen, what Tengen's doing here is he's going to be able to build up this 30% damage passive as well as this 2% SPA down passive. So he's going to be able to build up both. So here we're just going to get him to full AoE, then we're immediately going to turn and start working on an Akaza. I like to work on this one because whenever he goes and whenever he gets his line, he's able to hold down really, really well. So I really like working on this one very specifically because he's going to be able to shoot that line straight down. And it's going to be really, really helpful. So yeah, once you get wave control, it's going to be super easy to maintain because you can see he's got the line now, and that's going to be very, very, very good for us. So now, with him having the line, we could go ahead and get him 1 or 2 more upgrades for Annihilation, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we can go back to working on our Tingans now, and we can go ahead and place our other 2 Tingans right here so they can start building up their passives as well, and we can maximize our usage of these passives. So now we basically have max placements down, which is really, really, really good for us. The other thing we're going to want to do is this Croc specifically, you're going to want to feed him 2 upgrades, or 3 upgrades, I think it's 3. We'll find out in a second, whenever I get around to it. So we're going to wait to get this last Tinkin upgrade first. It's very important to have 1 Tinkin maxed out. And then we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And you'll see he goes from a 3.2 SPA to a 3.6. We want to keep him on the 3.2 because his passes last for 3 seconds, which means 0.2 second downtime, meaning you're basically perma-slowing the enemies, which is really, 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 really good. And we're going to want to keep doing this. And this is kind of how we're going to maintain the wave control and what we're going to do to maintain everything. So now we want to get a second Tinkin to full AoE status, a second Tinkin to GOAT status, and we're going to keep this going. Now that we've established wave control, the rest of this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to use the Tinkins now, max them out. I believe the Akazas are going to handle this Igris just fine. I could, if I need to, really put one Akaza, get one Akaza to Needle Compass or Compass Needle. I don't know why I keep calling it Needle Compass. I actually like Akaza a lot, so it's really, it makes me sad when I mess up his name. Or mess up the names of his moves. So just in case, we'll just put 1 to Compass Needle, and then we'll go back to working on our big boys here, Tinkins, because whenever it reaches wave 19, if we have not killed this Igris going down the lane yet, the new Igris won't spawn, giving us time to go ahead and clean out the waves, and giving us time to allow the Akazas to really try to chew through his HP and just, you know, all sorts of goodness. So yeah, this is kind of our strat now. We're just going to chill out and basically go from here. And yeah, we're waiting on this last upgrade, or this one right here, and then this Tinkin is done, and now we cannot get a new wave until this Igris is dead. So we're just kind of chilling at this point and just buying our time. So that's kind of the game plan for now, is we're just going to chill, buy our time, and we will be good to go. And we can see here, he's got this. We're going to go ahead and activate that so he gets the bonus damage. You can see he gets all the way cranked up to 15k. Kind of crazy. We just don't want him on the pill just yet, but he will be on the pill soon enough. And once he's on the pill, it should be GG, because he's going to hit like an absolute freight train. So you can see here, Igris is getting not perma-slowed. I guess there is an internal cooldown to it, so it's every other time he gets a slow applied. Yeah. So that's going to be a thing to watch for. So now we're going to do this, and we're going to basically just upgrade all the way to max this Tinkin here. And like I said, you guys can see, now we're ahead. We are ahead of the waves. We're doing good. We're going to fully max out this last Tinkin, and then we will be just solid. And now, yeah, now we're just chilling. And this is why Tinkin is better than Igris. Igris is very, very, very strong. He doesn't get stunned, so he's actually able to kill the Igrises. However, the one thing about Tinkin that makes him insanely good is his range. Tinkin's range, as I established in the other video, is enough to put him over Igris in terms of DPS, or not DPS, but in terms of damage and range, and total damage dealt. So he's going to be really, really good at doing exactly what the goal is, which is maintaining the mobs. Because Akaza, to be honest with you guys, kind of sucks at dealing with a lot of mobs. His SPA is very high, even though he hits very hard. The very high SPA makes it so it's really, really hard to actually deal with mobs. So instead, you just want to try to isolate the boss. So just like Vegeta, he can just do as much damage to the boss as possible while leaving Tinkin for the mobs. So yeah, we're going to do this. And the main reason Akaza sucks for the mobs isn't even the pill. The pill is this is a weird AoE, and it takes some getting used to. But this isn't the main reason he sucks for mobs. It's because of his SPA. He's got a 7 SPA natively, which is absolutely insane, because you compare this to Tinkin with a 6.3 on a full AoE. Like, you can see why it's a big issue for Akaza. Akaza's main issue is his SPA. His damage is phenomenal. Everything's great with Akaza, just his SPA makes it very, very hard to maintain and hold wave control. So you don't want to be using Akaza to clear waves. You just want to be using Akaza just to take out the bosses, because he does get such high attack stat in stacking his passive. Like you can see here, he's at an 18.2k attack stat with 38 range. Once again, it's really funny to me how like he's got lower SPA but also way more range. I mean, this is Z plus range, but at the same time, this is Z range, I believe, right? I believe I have Z range on him, don't I? I do. So Z range versus Z plus, and he's got a solid 7 more range than him, right? Let me see. Yeah, a solid 7 more range. That's crazy to me. I do think Akaza probably needs like either an SPA reduction or a range increase or something like that to really be like as good as Vegeta. But for right now, I do believe Vegeta is the better option. It's just the only difference between Vegeta and Akaza is for Vegeta is you really cannot put all this support around him to buy him time. You really, you need to let Vegeta cook on his own. So that could run into some complications if you're really reliant on like slows or the knockback from pain, etc. It could create complications like that, but at the end of the day, you should be just fine. So we're going to go ahead, keep upgrading the Akaza. Do we have another one upgraded? We have this one to 9D150, and we have these two upgraded. So what we're going to do here in a second is we're going to activate Compass Needle. Yep, we're going to activate this, then activate this, and now have fun. And you can see he's at a 1.6 times multiplier on his attack stat for a whopping 23k on a 7 SPA. Very, very high damage. They said the only downside is his very high SPA, which is whatever. It's not like a super big deal because we're using Croc and we're using Pain to supplement that really high SPA to kind of balance things out. High SPAs in this game are very painful because the enemies move very fast in comparison to other tower defenses. For example, the enemies in this game move 50% faster than Anime Royale, and Anime Royale, the enemies in that game already move pretty quick. So the fact that the native speed is 50% faster than Anime Royale or any other ones means it tells me it's really, really, really fast. So yeah, these enemies move really quick. So anything with like really high SPAs can end up really hurting you. So you will really want to try to supplement that with, once again, supports and stuff. I've said this so many times throughout the course of the video. I'm just yapping at this point to yap and buy time, because that's all I got to do right now at this point is just buy time. So now we're at wave 30. We can go ahead, sell our Speedo Wagoner. We're going to sell our speed wagons. You can see we got this one here maxed out now. And the only thing left is this last Akaza. This Akaza is going to get maxed out in time, but first we need to do as much damage as we can with the built-up Tengens to the Blood Red Commander coming by. So now, bad news for Pain here. He can't affect the boss. They kind of got rid of that in the early access to where Pain can affect bosses, because stun looping the bosses was really funny, but it's obviously not allowed. So once the mods go by, we can go ahead and sell the Pains. We don't need to worry about Pain doing anything to the bosses, simply because there's not really a whole lot he can do. So we're going to do that. We're going to move back over here. We don't want to sell the Croc yet. We only want to sell Pains as they go by. And yeah, we're just going to keep selling Pain and moving on up. And eventually we're going to do the same with Croc too once he exits the range of Croc. And we can't just spam him with slows anymore. So, oh, that Croc was about to attack, but that Croc attacked anyway, so we're good. So now we're going to go ahead and start moving these Crocs down. Going to go here. We want to check here. You want to put Croc at basically the edge of the range, because whenever he enters this range for Croc, that's when you can activate Compass Needle. And whenever you activate Compass Needle, he's going to be able to actually reach whenever he enters that range of Croc. So it's really, really, really nice. So here you can see we're going to do this again. We're going to check the range over here, and we're going to place Croc. We want to check this range here just to make sure that we can keep track of where Croc can exactly reach to. We're going to do this. We can sell this Pain. It doesn't matter. We put down another Croc. Ew, we haven't removed this one yet. Alright, cool. The other thing about Igris has a really fat hitbox. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's kind of not in the range anymore, and he's still getting hit because his hitbox is absolutely massive. Like, you can see the Tingans are still attacking, which is why I kind of never remove them, and I kind of just let them be for the time being. So, now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and sell you. We're going to come over here, we're going to finish up this last Akaza, all the way to max. And now, we're going to place another Croc. Right here is fine. We just want to place another Croc, just to place him, because we really have nothing else to do now until he gets over here. Hello, Money Simple. Nice to see you. I wonder where you got here from. Anyways, we're going to keep it pushing, and we're just going to wait, and we're about to hit Compass Needle to go ahead and just start annihilating the boss. So, we want to make sure to utilize Compass Needle to the max of its effect, so like I said, we're just waiting on him to basically reach this threshold here. And once he reaches this, we're going to go down the line now. We want to activate specifically this one first. We want to set on auto, so they activate instantly again. You got to remember, Igris has a very fat hitbox, so you want to try to utilize that as much as possible to your advantage. The fact his hitbox is so big, and that's going to be kind of your bread and butter here, is just utilizing the fact that he has a very, very large hitbox. So now you're going to let the Akazas just do their thing. Like I said, 23k, they hit like absolute freight trains, and they're going to have a really good range, but as they start timing out, here's where it gets really fun, or not. Basically, you are just waiting and praying the Crocs can apply slows fast enough. We're going to sell this Croc very specifically so we can reapply the slow past and dodge the stun, because that's our goal right now, is we kind of want to dodge the stun. And now we want to keep the Croc, or the Blood Red Commander, slowed up enough. I probably should have gone this way, actually, thinking about the activations. It's fine. We're going to hopefully keep them up enough to where now, once they start activating their compass, they can actually reach him. So we're going to place this one here. And GG, easy. This is just a brand new 2 units. You should be able to still use Vegeta and Igris. If you used that last time, just swap out Hakarin for Pain to help you deal with the mobs, and then Vegeta and Igris should still clean it all up. I haven't like fully tested it, but just use Pain. Pain's the big swap in. He's the secret tech option. He's really, really good at just stalling at mobs and buying you time to do a lot of damage. If you have to, don't worry too much about Vegeta's minus 20% SPA, because you can always place a Pain and then sell him later, so it's not that big a deal. Anyways, hopefully this helped you guys. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.